Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the warrior decks. The basic cards for warrior starts off with charge. Now charge, ironically enough, is actually a really good ability for a creature to have. And so for 0 to give a friendly minion charge, if you're doing any sort of deck that's based on minions and charge, it's almost a must-have to have in your deck. Inner Rage, 0 to deal 1 damage to a minion and give it +2 to attack. Now this can be used as either a kill the enemy minions to deal 1 damage to it, or to buff your own minions by making sure that you just deal a little bit of damage to it so it survives. Really great on minions that get buffs or get bonuses when they're damaged, either drawing cards when they're damaged, or look, I get bonus damage when I'm damaged, or there's all kinds of rage mechanics that work on taking damage. Execute. Destroy a damaged enemy minion. Now this thing will kill any minion that's been damaged, so it's a really good card to have in combination with any sort of card that will damage minions. So Execute is quite a powerful card out there. Whirlwind. Deal 1 damage to all minions. Now this does also 1 damage to every single minion on your side of the field, so you got to be a little bit careful with it, but for its mana cost, 1 mana for 1 damage, it's relatively cheap. Now what you can do, which what we usually suggest, is adding some sort of spell power card to deal a little bit more damage if you want to wipe out the early Murloc decks and so on and so forth. Fiery War Axe, 2 for a 3 damaging weapon that lasts for 2 turns, or at least 2 attacks anyway. This is your standard bread and butter weapon card for any sort of weapon deck if you're designing a weapon deck with the warrior. Battle Raged. Draw for every damage friendly character, so that includes your own warrior. So no matter how many friendly characters are damaged, you'll draw a card for each of them. So if you have a large army of friendly characters, this is quite useful. If you only have yourself that's damaged, I don't find it worth the mana cost. Cleave. Deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions. Now, if you have a spell power buff, this makes it even more worthwhile, but it is relatively decent at taking out some of the lower end monsters if you're stuck with two enemy monsters. Heroic Strike. 2 to give your hero +4 attack. Now this also buffs weapon damage, so if you have a weapon out, this will increase the damage that the weapon will do. So you can kind of stack damage if you want to. But it is a decent card for the damage you'll be doing. Rampage. Give a damaged minion +3/+3. This is really good on a deck that's based on damaged minions and such, where you can actually make a really powerful minion quite early on to decimate players. Slam. Deal 2 damage to a minion, and if it survives, draw a card. This is a great card to use on minions that have a little bit extra hit points, like 3 hit points, or if they have like some sort of buff on them that's preventing damage. This will make it so you always get that card. Now it's also good at wiping out minions if you just need that extra damage to kill, but its real purpose is to try to get that extra card. You can also use it on your own minions if you need something to buff them with, like Enrage or something like that, and this will trigger the Enrage. Cruel Taskmaster. Similar to that 0-cost spell, this is a 2/2/2 that deals 1 damage and gives a minion +2 attack. This is really good at either finishing off minions or powering up one of your own existing minions. Shield Block. You gain 5 armor and you draw a card. I find this is almost a must-have in any warrior deck, just because it's relatively cheap mana cost for a pretty good bonus, and you get to draw a card. So it's almost always worth having in your deck. War Song Commander. This is another key part to any sort of charge deck. Having a War Song Commander, combining it with any sort of any sort of large monster, is quite powerful. Arathi Weaponsmith. This is also another card that's really good in a weapon deck. It is a little bit low on power at 3/3 for 4, but it does give you a 2/2 weapon, which is not a bad weapon. Kor'kron Elite. We have your charger. It's a 4/4 with 3 hit points. It is a little low in hit points, but for a charger, it's actually quite good. Arcanite Ripper. We have a really powerful weapon card. It's almost a must-have to at least one of these in your warrior deck if you're doing a weapon deck. It is a very powerful weapon. Yeah, it looks like that's everything for all the basic cards for a warrior. Let's look at them more, a little bit higher. We have Upgrade. Upgrade is an interesting rare card. If you have a weapon, it gives it +1/+1, making your weapon even more powerful. Otherwise, it equips a weapon that has 1 attack and lasts for 3 rounds. They're really good in any sort of weapon deck you're designing. Commanding Shout. Your minions cannot be reduced below 1 health. This is really good to use in a deck where your minions are going to be taking a large amount of damage, or you're going to be using them to attack things and you don't want them to die. And you get to draw a card as a bonus. It's a really good, you could combine it with some interesting cards. I think that's all the ones I have actually made. I'm going to actually look into the crafting mode and see what other ones there are. Armor Myth. Whenever a friendly minion takes damage, gain 1 armor. This is really good if you're basing your deck on an armor kind of deck, because there are a few cards that work on off armor. The more armor you have, the more damage you could do, so on and so forth. And armor is a great way of preventing damage, especially in a weapon deck. Frothing Berserker. Whenever a minion takes damage, it gains +1 attack. This is an extremely powerful card if you're working on a deck that's based on damaging your own minions and so on and so forth. This card can get very powerful, and I've seen many warriors decimate players with it. Mortal Strike. Deal 4 damage. If your hero has 12 or less hit points, deal 6 damage. I've had many warriors decimate players with this card. It is definitely worth its mana cost, 4 for 4 damage base, and if you're less hit points, 4 for 6. If you have any sort of spell power, it makes it even more powerful. And I think that is everything. Yeah, that's everything for the warrior deck, for the basics. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them, and subscribe if you enjoyed your video. Thank you very much.